Welcome to Klein Memorial Stadium, where the Aldine Eisenhower Golden Eagles of District 18 5A take on the Klein Collins Tigers of District 13 5A. Each team is looking for their first win of the season. The Eagles have one of the premier backs in Texas in Donald Catalon. Last year, Catalon ran loose against the Tigers in a 35-32 loss. The Tigers simply can't afford to let him run loose again this year. And with the Tigers opening district play next week against Westfield, they can't afford an 0-2 start. Jordan Thomas is at the helm this season, and he relies on Trey White and Ernest Watts in a run-oriented offense. The Tigers' Ernest Watts at the tempo, slicing through a crease in coverage on the opening kickoff, and setting up the offense all the way to the Eagle 28. Then Trey White made it 1st and goal from the 9, taking the pitch from Thomas around the right side. And on 3rd and goal, Thomas follows White through a hole off tackle and stretches out for the TD. Daniel Gomez converted the extra point try, and the Tigers were up 7-0 early. Late in the first period, White takes the pitch again to put the Tigers in Eagle territory to start the second period. Then Watts comes around left end and cuts back up the middle for good yardage, but is stripped of the ball, and it's Zuriel Kirkwood who finally collects it. And they go right back to Watts, and he powers up the middle and gets in for the touchdown. And that shows confidence in the sophomore after a fumble. And the Tigers are up 14-0 in the second quarter. After an Eagle 3 and out, the Tigers get the ball back on their own 44. Then Thomas goes up top, long, and it's Ernest Watts who makes a nice grab to get to the 3-yard line. And as Thomas closing the deal, getting around the corner to go up 21-0 as the team heads into the locker room at halftime. And the Eagles need to find some offense as the Tigers have dominated the first half. The Eagles' 4 possessions in the first half lasted less than 7 minutes. Catalon could get nothing going as the Tiger defense dominated at the line of scrimmage. After falling behind by 3 scores, the Eagles attempted to go to the air, but defensive coverage was just too tight. And while the Tigers' defense kept the Eagle offense off the field, the offense was playing a ball control game with Thomas, Watts, and White grinding it out to keep the chains moving and eating up the clock. The Golden Eagles have a big weapon in Donald Catalon, and hopefully they can come out in the second half ready to use his generous talents against a Klein Collins defense that remembers all too well the damage he can do. But in the Eagle first series, Catalon suffered an ankle sprain and was done for the night. And that made a tough night more difficult for the Eagles, as the Tigers and Trey White showed how to run the ball all the way to the 24. And White tries the left edge and gets enough for the first down at the 12. And after switching ends at the quarter, Thomas charges off right guard for the touch. And the Tigers go up 28-0 to start the fourth period. Later, the Eagles special teams created a break by recovering a Trey White fumble on the 1-yard line. And the Eagles finally got on the board as Trevian Roberts followed blocks to sneak across for the TD. But on the point after, Christian Snow came through unblocked to smother the kick as the Tigers continued to dominate the line of scrimmage. Each team added another score late in the game, but it was the Tigers coming out on top of this one by the final score of 35-12 as they prepare for the district opener against highly regarded Westfield next week.
Well, we've always been, we're going to establish the running game. That's what we do. You know, and obviously you take what they give you. You know, we just felt like up front we got a pretty good squad, and we felt like we kind of worn down, so we just kept you know, pedal to the metal. We did. Those guys, they're in their gaps. They were aggressive. There's a bunch of new faces on defense this year up front, and I'm really proud of those guys because they got some really talented offensive players on their team, and really proud of the way that our kids really, you know, read their key and played fast.